Hey everybody, it's your girl Vi, and welcome back to Theater Threads. So I wanted to do something a little different, something at least I've never done before, and I wanted to get some feedback on Divorce in the Black, the new Tyler Perry film that's on Prime. Well, I wanted to know exactly what Black men thought about this film. So I found 3 men who were willing and able to not just watch the film, but to actually come on and discuss it. So I am going to bring them on so we can have a discussion in reference to Tyler Perry's Divorce in the Black in the male perspective. I want to introduce you guys to my male perspective panel.
What's going on, everybody? This is David Lunsford, chiming in from East Orange, New Jersey. I'm a cinematographer, director, and I would say very much a fan of Tyler Perry's films.
Oh. What's up, everybody? I'm Terry Lee from Jamaica, Queens, New York. Y'all know it, but I reside in South Carolina. Banker, clothing owner, actor, stage actor, part-time stand-up comedy. And I am a Tyler Perry fan at heart.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Collie White from Roosevelt, New York. I am a New York City fireman, amongst other things. I'm a master barber. I'm a DJ. I am a car mechanic, and also I have my own mobile car detailing business. I forgot a lot of other stuff that you said already. So, but Tyler Perry's movies, I like the older ones. These newer ones, I'm not so much on.
I did notice, Terry, you didn't really want to represent where you're living at now. I find that very funny. You know you want to come back to New York.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I know that's right.
Well, as you guys can hear, this is a diverse panel. So we're going to start with our first question. How did you guys feel the males were represented in this film, Divorce in the Black?
With the males that was represented in this film, I'm going to start with Dallas. He is I guess you could say the cliche abusive person in a marriage, kind of putting a woman through hell with all of his own personal things that's going on. There was a lot of family trauma that was represented through him that can happen in real life, definitely, when someone is brought up in a certain environment. But it's not good that you kind of project that onto your wife or anybody for that matter. And the character Benji was the complete opposite of that. Mind you, we didn't really get much of his family background in this story. He was kind of just thrown in as, I guess you could say, kind of the savior, not taking Ava out of the relationship, but being there as her embrace. He was the new provider protector that a woman really wants, that's not so abusive and so traumatized by everything that's going on. And on top of that, he was top tier respectful with how he was going about actually interacting with Ava. I'm sure y'all remember the scene where he had the chance to do it at first, but he didn't want to. And it could have all went down right there. And he chose to, I'm gonna be the angel right now, and I'm gonna step back. So he was represented in the best possible light out of everybody. They kind of did Jim dirty, because it was he was the cool friend. He was trying to make sure that Dallas wasn't tripping too much. And then Dallas kind of just threw it in there yo, you cheated too, get out of here. And then he was just damn, you dude done threw me in the
So did you guys feel like that was a Shaq Kobe situation when he did that? Or am I looking too much into it?
You're gonna have to explain what you mean by that.
I mean, it was a desperate act. It was a Kobe Shaq move. It was a Kobe Shaq move, but it was also it was a desperate attempt. It was a desperate attempt to try to save itself, and it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? It was, and my perspective on how they did that, I'm gonna be very honest, and again, I'm speaking as a fan. I support Tyler Perry. Not all of his stuff I don't, but for the most part, if you're from that old Tyler Perry, you know where he came from.
Mm-hmm.
The perspective, the male perspective in that movie, to me, is one cliche, Because how many movies can we get where there's a crazy ex-husband,
Hmm.
a crazy boyfriend, and then there's the muscle bound guy coming to save her and take her out of her distress, and he just wants to be the good guy. It's a lot of cliche moments with Tyler Perry, and I feel like the representation, especially for black men, I'm not a fan of that. I'm sorry, it's too many movies like that. He has a line of movies that's like that. Now, those situations happen in real life. Like there's a lot of women that's dealing with abusive men on so many different levels, husbands, boyfriends, all that stuff. But I feel like that wasn't real representation. That was really Tubi. It's a Tubi BT type moment. Like I'm being honest. As a fan, I'm telling you, he could have kept this one. He could have kept this one. Because we all not out here. I'm pretty sure every gentleman on here, we not out here beating women and throwing soda on them and saying drink it. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not doing
Yeah,
that.
no.
We don't do
It,
that.
wa- it,
And
wa- it was a little pushed too far.
he was over. The movie was dark. It was just dark for no reason. Like, dude, she upstairs with another man. Why you in the house eating cake? Like, what's wrong with you, bro? Like,
Well,
they
Go ahead,
took it too
Callie. Go
places.
ahead.
Go ahead.
that particular part, that's her fault. I 100%. That is her fault. She let him go upstairs, knowing that this dude is upstairs asleep. He could have.
Did she let him though? Like, what was her little
Yes,
self
she
gonna do with
did.
that
She
big guy?
definitely let him.
She
She
let him
let him.
go upstairs. She didn't do anything. She's like, well, all right, whatever. Then she's like, oh wait. I'm like, no, it's too late now. I'm already. The truck is already rolling.
And then the muscle bound dude is sleeping. He's still asleep. The whole argument
Yeah.
going on.
How
He
you
about
gonna
to get
let
hit in
this
the head
man
with a
beat
frying
in the
pan.
head, yo? Nah. Dead wrong on that one.
Like that whole movie had me. It was too dark. It's like she got away from the dark place and then went somewhere else and got into a darker place.
It
So
reminded me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go
No,
ahead,
go
Callie.
ahead, bro. Go ahead.
It really reminded me of like it has similarities to Acrimony, just
Mm.
reversed, just
Okay.
reversed. And I look at with the dude Dallas, and I see that with a lot of different people. I believe that they try to use divorce, separations, and all that as a ploy to control the relationship. Being that, yo, I want to divorce you, I want to get rid of you, and that other person turns around and is like, no, 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 no. All right, what can I do to help fix this? So it's really in the controlling type of thing where somebody is using that, because when somebody actually calls your bluff on it, what she did, she was like, all right, cool, I'm ready. Like, you already set me up to leave, so I'm good. Let me sign the papers and I'm done. And then he turns around and is like, yo, I can't believe that she divorced me. Like, bro, you asked for this.
You
And
started
so
it.
again, a lot of people, and that in turn turns to something else. A lot of people ask for things that they don't want. They just want to
Okay.
say that, like, again, it goes back to, I'm saying it to change that person from the way that he's probably moving around. He or she is moving around. So here we are. I'm putting this out there.
So it's a means to control, is what you're saying.
It's the way that he was using it. I'm not saying like every time somebody gets a divorce, it's just trying to control things. Some people should be divorced. Some people just shouldn't be together. They're just not good together. They probably work good, but just not together.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that that's the ploy for everybody when they are getting a divorce, but not but. However, you have some people that try to control a relationship in that way.
I feel like that's like the opposite of leading that a man should do, because I feel like if you're in a marriage, and I'm just saying this from a younger perspective of like not being married yet, the man definitely, of course, with considering what his wife thinks, a man should definitely like lead in what is actually going on, not kind of just throw out feelers to see what the woman wants and then try to manipulate her off of that. I couldn't help but think that when Dallas did that, because I've experienced certain times where someone is like, you know, I'm gonna see if you want to do this, and if that's what you really want to do, then I'm gonna go and let you do it. But for him to do that and then try to like reverse it on her, that was just him just being like crazy and manipulative in that instance.
That's
That's
that's a
So do you?
narcissist. That's narcissist vibes right there, man. That's and it. All right. So in all reality, all right, because I know I was joking around about it. In all reality, outside of it being cliche, to go off what everybody's saying here, it has an awareness to it because the narcissist situation that some of us men go through, and women are narcissists too. Not to take away from that, but male perspective, the narcissist energy that we give,
Hmm.
and also not fixing the hurt that we have from our past. He's a product of pain from his past and his
Hmm.
environment. He's a product of his environment. I mean, and if you don't know that, the beginning of the movie, they snatching bodies out of a casket. I ain't never known nobody do that.
Who
well,
does that,
that's
bro?
cool. Ain't
Who
That
nobody,
does that?
nobody. The
like
funeral is not gonna let you do that.
I,
No.
I'm still
That's what I'm
I
saying. Some
love
of this was over the top. This is
it.
like,
It was over
come
the top, and the crazy part is, if you've been to a funeral, you know that person's body ain't all in there like that. So you dragging bodies out like that. That's kind of crazy. But
on. Yeah.
Mm.
it's like I get it. The other part to it where this guy has a problem and his whole family had a problem. All of them had a problem.
I think he's a well written example of what you shouldn't do, of course. But like as far as like if you have something in your past that you're dealing with and you're expressing it, one, there's healthy ways of expressing it and there's healthy ways of coping with it. And you have to do this in order to heal. You don't keep doing it and don't heal because now you're just affecting all the people that's around you. And it's like, yeah, Tyler Perry does get a little cliche with the things that he writes movies about, but you still see these things happening. So it's important to keep telling these stories. Um, I think they even brought up that topic when they was talking about Tyler Perry's last book. It's a Jazz Man's Tale, I believe it's called. Where they're like,
Jasmine's
okay,
Blues, I think.
Jazz Man Blues, yeah.
That was a good
They're
one.
like, yeah, there was like, yo, some people were like, we're tired of seeing movies like this where it's just like outright racism. And I might be getting a little off topic, but basically, I'm saying it's like you have to continue to show these things because people need to continue to be aware of it. If you just like, okay, we made a couple movies about it, I covered the topic already, I'm just gonna go this route, then it's like you're kind of doing a disservice to people, especially some of their fans, even some of the younger fans who may have seen the older movies, but like now they're a little bit older and now they can actually interpret the messages that Tyler Perry is trying to put in in these movies. Yeah, it might be cliche to like us who've seen mad Tyler Perry movies, but there's like a 19-year-old kid somewhere that like may be going through something and may have a little boo that he is really serious about, where he could see this movie and he could be like, let me make sure I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So even
That's
though it's
one
a
way of
little
looking at
cliche,
it.
Do it, but flip
even
side
though it's a
towards
little
that, you
cliche,
also
then I feel like
gravitate
it's still necessary.
towards that also.
Say that again, Callie.
I said at the flip side to that is that young gentleman could possibly gravitate towards the negativity because it shows her, in a sense, cowering, and he has control and demand over
Yeah.
her. So he can also it's like almost a slippery slope type of thing with his character and with people looking at it or young people looking at it and gravitating towards it. Because there's some that just gravitate towards like, oh yeah, that is good. That looks good to me. No matter how 90% of the people around here is telling him, no, that's not good. He's saying, no, that's good to me. In my perspective, how I look at it, that character was good. But digress a little bit. But I believe with this whole movie, both families contributed to the issues that was in the marriage, big time. Like from the beginning scene with the father preaching, like, all right, that this a dirty dog type of dude, but you don't have to tell everybody on his last day that everybody is looking at.
Yeah, that
I
was
mean,
wild.
that was way over the top. Like,
That's really
I
crazy.
don't see nothing wrong with the anger that the mother had or the family had at that time, because I would have been ready to rip him out the pulpit too.
No, you don't talk about the casket,
My
bro.
family like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you're not going to talk about my
Don't
family like
talk
that,
about the casket.
and then thinking it's okay. I would have
Do
took
you
the
know what?
casket too.
Yeah,
I would
you
have
know
took
what
the
they
casket
did?
with me.
They
And
got offended and said, "You know what? Pick him up. Come on, we're gonna take him outside. Come on."
yeah. That I
Pick
mean,
him. Come on.
yeah. I feel him on that, and at the same time, it's just the influence that the couple had, and it's crazy when I know that young people that I know. I'm almost 50, so that's why I say younger people. Younger people that I know,
God bless.
um, that thank you, that are getting married. I tell them all the time, like, keep everybody out of your relationship.
Mhm.
When you're looking, if you're down bad, or that person, that your husband or your wife that you're mad at, uh, don't talk to the person that's going to also feed into the negativity that you're feeling towards that person at the time. You have to have somebody that's going to walk you off of that cliff and show you, like, all right, I can show you, the good side and the bad side to the situation that's going on now. But they didn't have anybody talking them off the cliff, either side of the family. They tried to make Ava's side look good, but
Hmm.
still, that was a contributing factor. Her family, her mother and father, whatever, because they really didn't go into their relationships. But you can see that from just the communication that Dallas had with the mother in the store before he put hands on her, that other stuff has been said in the past and things
Hmm.
done in the past.
Yeah.
So they're not really, they're making Dallas look totally, totally bad, but they're not really going deep down into the actual relationship of that entire family, meaning the couple and the outside family. They're not really. So it was a couple of things that was missed with it also.
So I will say you're already touching on where we're heading next is what was your takeaway? So my takeaway from this is, and like I said in my review, I felt like this film showcased what it is to be the person trying to be there for someone and how it disrupts your life. You had the father got shot, he got beat up. You had the mother getting assaulted in the supermarket. You had the new dude getting beat up while he was sleeping. Like these are all the things that these people endure trying to help her, trying to, manage their relationship. That was my takeaway. What's
I
y'all?
think but I think the best friend had
Yeah, a whole list of stuff.
yeah, the best friend was, I think, to me, was that go-to guy that could have prevented a lot, but he wasn't forceful enough as a friend to tell him,
Okay.
yo, you're dead wrong. Yo, you're dead wrong. Not try to hide the fact that, oh my God, yo, nah, you just can't come in the house. Like, what, you having a party? Something, you didn't invite me? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you gotta stand your ground. My friends, they gonna let me know, no matter how much they love me and they love the person I'm with, they gonna let me know, yo, you know what, you messing up. You did, that was foul. That was dead wrong. You shouldn't have did that. And I don't think that, as a friend, I don't think he stood up enough to help his friend.
Okay. What other takeaways did y'all have from this? Because I think your takeaway also, Callie, was the fact of the influences of other people when it comes to your relationship.
Hmm.
That's actually a really good takeaway.
I'm gonna say a takeaway for me. It's two major ones that stood out to me. Um, healing, healing process. People don't understand what healing really is in a relationship, in a marriage, whatever you have. You have to heal from what you've been through. That old trauma will destroy you in a new chapter of your life if you don't heal from it. And he was a prime example. His rage, his anger was a prime example of somebody that was broken at an early point. So healing was a major part because now he's just broken someone else, and now she doesn't even have time to heal. She has to survive him. So everything she's doing, even when she meets somebody new, she's not really healing. It's just suppressing the depression right now. It's it's just a little. It's fast food. It's just a quick fix. She's not
Hmm.
healed. She's broken. She's at her parents' house, broken. So Hurt people hurt people. So it's I looked at it as heal, heal from what happened to you, express it, and figure out how to move on. That was one bigger thing. The next thing, which leads into the same thing, is self-reflection. She stayed
Mm.
like self-reflection will put you in better situations in life than anything ever will. If you self-reflect on who you are and or what you're doing, you're holding yourself accountable. You have to do that. And it showed that as a man, you have a lot of self-reflection to do. As a woman, you have a lot of, as a person in general, you have a lot of self-reflection to do. They were in a bad situation. He was a broken man abusing a woman. She allowed him to be abusive because she was stuck on the potential of what he could be or what he used to be.
Mm.
So there was self-reflection needed to to make change before it got to this point. And that's what I took away from it. It never happened until somebody died, and then everybody healed at the end. Like, the sun start coming out. But
Mm.
those are the two things I got from it: healing, self-reflection. Always put you in a better place.
And Dave?
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to just kind of like agree with Terry as far as like healing, because that's what I was gonna say too. When you're in a relationship, like some people think you automatically have to come healed, and sometimes that's not always true because your partner can help you do things, but you always have to kind of like look back at yourself in order to heal. You can't receive healing from another person. And it is kind of that I feel like that's kind of what Ava thought she would be able to do in supporting Dallas at those times where he was like weak and everything and abusing her and all that. She thought that she could just allow him to heal from everything, but that is something that Dallas has to do. Not necessarily, he don't necessarily have to do it on his own, but it's something that he has to do, and that is, what a lot of people don't realize. There is a very thin line between allowing someone to help you heal and just projecting everything onto them. Now, in terms of Ava, I don't really think that she really had to. I don't really think she had more of a necessity to heal like Dallas did, but there was definitely some soul searching that she had to do in order to like not exactly heal from what her parents did because she didn't receive anything traumatic from her family growing up. To realize that just because her family acted in such a way of staying together, which is good because they had a good marriage, doesn't mean that automatically when you're into a marriage you have to stay. And it was very clear that that's what she was trying to do. Like she's seen her parents go into marriage, grow old together, so she had it in her mind of like, okay, this is what I got to do no matter what. You stay in a marriage. She even really said that in the dialogue. But in a situation like this, that's not something that you stay in. So you have to like look back at yourself and be like, why am I staying in this marriage? Am I staying in this marriage because it was a good marriage and this is a good man? Or am I staying in this marriage because my parents stayed in their marriage? And if your answer is because my parents stayed in their marriage, then that's not really considering for real this other monster that you are with every day.
So what you're
Now,
saying is what you're saying is when you are in a relationship, you have to be honest with yourself and make sure that you're staying in it for the right reasons and not for someone else. Because it sounds like she was doing it only because her parents stayed together and she was trying to reflect it.
yeah, because if y'all think about it, if she didn't have the influence of her parents in this relationship, not what they said, but what they did with them, do y'all think she would have stayed in the marriage? No, because she would have been like, I don't have that example of staying in the marriage. She would have just been going off the marriage that she's in, and she would have made decisions based off that rather than trying to persevere through everything that was going on. Like,
Y'all
even
agree with
though,
that?
That's a real thing though. It's not everybody, but there are. How many times have you seen someone? We all know someone or heard of a person who stayed in a relationship because they grew up in a household where the mother tolerated the husband, and what he did, and said a real woman stays, and that was the example, and they stayed, and they ended up worse than what the mother had it. There's a lot of examples. I'm not saying it's everybody, because it's not but to act like it's never been done, a lot of people stay because of the example they see. It's setting the tone. It's no different from how I honestly believe, I'm going to always believe it, as a father. I'm a male figure to what my son see. How I treat my lady is how, you know what I'm saying? He's going to go off that. How he sees me treat his mom, he's going to go off that. He's going to think certain, if I treat his mother a certain way, even if he know it's wrong, I don't know what he learns from that. I don't know what he's going to take from that, or what he inherits from that. If he see me treating her right, again, you don't know what he's going to take from it, but you're setting the example. So, and a lot of people have this thing, especially in today's time, where they're like, you got to be married. They push it a certain way, and then they say you got to get married, and you got to stick with your wife no matter how bad it is, or your husband no matter how bad it is. Some of them are stuck into that. They're watching as they're young, or they're being told that. And this was a prime example of a woman chasing a love story like her parents, or how she thought her parents had a love story, and she was doing anything to just to fill that void, like to make that same goal, and ended up with something worse.
Okay. Callie, you agree?
Partially. I think people forget that they have choices, and people make a choice to stay with someone. And I'm saying that just from, I think, by an experience. I actually just had a conversation with a friend of mine today. I know 3 different families that I'm extremely close with that I thought they were the epitome of marriages. When all 3 different houses, 3 different marriages, I thought that all 3 of them were the epitome. And come to find out, it's like, I don't know if I'm going off on a tangent, but on the outside looking in, it looks like it's great. But in one family, the father's beating everybody, but around everybody, he's cool. He's the cool dad. I got another family where for years the parents never slept together in the same bed. Like from childhood that I can remember, they never slept in the same bed. And I had another one that was like super religious, and that affected the kid, the son, my friend. So I say that to say that this people have these traumas, and that ends up being a trauma that they grew up with, but all 3 of them now in turn broke their curse that they were in, and their family life is totally different. So I believe that everything is with the choice that you make with the person that you're with. Another thing with marriage, I think I highly believe that people are um, working on the old laws or rules of
Which is
like biblically.
okay.
That's a whole nother thing. We're not even going to.
He
No,
stopped it
no,
right
no.
there. He
Yeah,
stopped it right there.
it's
He
a
said,
whole nother thing because
okay.
that's a rabbit hole. That's a rabbit hole that people are afraid to go down. For real.
Yeah, yeah.
But but just to shorten everything, the marriage is what you want it to be. It's not how it's stated in these quote unquote bylaws that's been given down over the years. That's really not for us, for most people. So you have to make the marriage of how you want it to be. Like I understand that she loved Dallas and all this, that, and the other. And I've seen a lot of women that stayed in abuse, but there's going to be a time when you just say, okay, I don't want this anymore. Or there should be a time when you should say, I don't want this anymore. And that time when she went to the house, with her mother's house and everything, like she went through that. I don't know the complete stages of grief, but it's like rage and anger and acceptance, and
Acceptance.
grievance, and all
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. She got to a point where she accepted it. She's like, all right, cool. I'm not going to deal with this anymore. I'm not going to deal with your BS anymore. I'm done. And she finally, that was the choice that she finally made. And her saying that she wasn't looking for anybody, but Benji was pretty much what she was looking for, what she needed. Her entire relationship, he is what she needed
Yeah.
for a relationship. I'm not saying for her to be who she is. I'm just saying for the relationship. That's that's what she needed was the dude Benji.
Okay. So now this is my rating system for films. I treat it like the Olympics. So there's the bronze, the silver, and the gold. The bronze is like a one-time watch or a waste of time. You are now dumber
Right.
after having watched it.
Right.
And so then you have the silver where you actually come out of it and you felt good about it. You could actually recommend it. But now the gold is the highest standard. You would watch it again if it ever comes on. It could even be wallpaper. You know how we do when we're cleaning up. But it's definitely something you will always tell somebody it's a must see. What ranking do you guys give Divorce in the Black?
Bronze. I'm sorry, bronze. Bronze.
I said
I would-
bronze, but here let me just put something to that. This is a triggering movie for a lot of people.
Okay.
So some people can't even get through this movie. I know personally a few people that just can't get through the movie because it's just too triggering. It's too.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff was over the top. A lot of stuff was over the top, but a lot of it was really they really hit home. But I give it a bronze just because it's not something I would. It's almost like a Precious. I'm not going to watch that again. I'm not going to put my emotions through that. That's terrible.
I'm gonna be against the grain and call it a silver. Only
Really?
because I feel like these type of movies should still be made, and still be put out, even if it is over the top, and even if it's a tad cliche, because of the fact that these type of topics should not go away. So I definitely didn't watch this and be like, yo, I feel dumber. Like I would never recommend this to anybody. But it's not to the caliber of, at least story wise, look wise, and cinema. Like as far as like, I'm a cinematographer, so like I pay attention to how shots actually are and the lighting and everything. That was top tier, so I give that like an A+. But I can't give it a gold off of the story because yes, it is a little cliche. There have been stories like this. This is just kind of bringing me back to the time of there's another Tyler Perry movie where it was an abusive husband and he got like either hit with a pot.
Oh, Fall from Grace?
Yeah,
No,
that.
the hot grits
Diary of a
thrown
Mad
on
Black Woman, ain't it?
Yeah, that
Oh,
was a mad black
No,
woman.
Blair Underwood got the hot grits thrown on him by
And
yeah.
that one too. That's another one
That
I
was
think of.
Medea's
Like
family reunion.
there's a bunch of stories like that, so that's why I can't give it a gold.
You
But
getting that
I
bronze?
definitely
Sorry,
think
y'all.
people should watch.
You getting that
this
bronze,
movie.
y'all? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
Yeah, it
getting
looked like
that
he
bronze?
getting.
you should definitely watch it. I mean, I'm not gonna say you should. I recommend that you watch it, but I'm not gonna say, yo, you need to go see this movie.
Yeah.
It's not that. I'm like, I'll ask my, did you watch it? I'm like, no, I didn't watch it. I'm like, okay.
Nah, I'm
I'm not
only
gonna.
watching this.
Oh,
Listen,
okay, no,
the
no more.
only way I'm watching this movie is if I'm in a, like you're in a hospital waiting for somebody and they
Yeah,
doing a
and it's
show
on.
and
And
BT
it's
is
on.
on, so you're watching it, or you
Yeah.
gonna watch you on an
On that
airplane, you on
small
JetBlue,
TV in the corner.
yeah, you on JetBlue, and you like, well, they ain't got nothing else. It's a dude, this will knock out some time on this flight. He getting the bronze. All I needed to see was them dragging a person out of the casket. I was just waiting for Medea to pop out somewhere at this point.
I will say I give a gold to the first scene. That opening scene of the film I thought was dope. It grabbed my attention. It made me like really want to know what else was gonna happen. Now from there, we all know it went somewhere else with it. But the first scene was great.
You're right. The first scene up until the pull the kid out the casket. I can understand, yo, strip, take all these clothes. You gave me these clothes. Yo, take all this back. Yo, I can see, and I felt that anger that the family. I was like, yo, is this dude talking about my brother right now? This
Do you know how
ain't no way
angry,
they would have been finishing church that day. No, no,
yo?
no,
Do you
no,
know
no.
how angry you gotta be to drag your dead
Yeah,
relative
you
out
know
of
what
a
I'm saying?
casket?
Yo, yeah, you know,
That's a whole level. That's a whole new
yo,
level of anger.
That's you're pissed. The highest of
You
festivities.
disgracing
You're not
him
reaching
too,
it.
low key. Like you're disgracing the body as well.
Yeah, if
And
you
then
grab
they
a
just
body out
went
of the
and
casket,
like,
you got a gun. I already know you're in the funeral with a gun. If you grab the casket, if you grab the body out of the casket, somebody
and
got
then
that
they
heat.
went and just buried him in the backyard. I was just like, well, damn.
I
Like,
mean,
Like it was a dead dog.
thing. I mean,
yeah,
that's some old country backwoods. I see that stuff is still connecting with me because my family is Southern, and I can remember some real backyard type of craziness or funerals in the house type of thing. So I
okay.
understand that kind of
Oh
that.
wow.
My
Yeah.
bad.
You just walk into
City boy over here.
you
Nah,
walk into the living room.
he's talking truth because I'm in South Carolina. My father's 75. I hear about outhouses, the funerals
Yeah,
inside the homes where
yeah,
the embalming. That's what the embalming fluid is for. So that
right.
way your house gonna be stinking
hmm
crazy. Like
Wow.
that's a real thing.
Right. Yeah, my family's Charleston, Gullah Geechee all the way. So,
Hey, Geechee City, okay.
hey boy, how you doing, boy? Yeah,
I mean,
So last but not least, this is the last thing. When it comes to Tyler Perry films, who is your favorite character?
Brown.
Yeah, I'm about to say Mr. Brown. He
Brown.
tickles me, bro.
Yeah,
I,
I mean, he's there for the comic relief. And he's going to say something that's going to be like, wow, did he really said that?
His
Okay,
outfits is
okay,
too tight,
yeah,
bro.
that's another thing. Yeah,
Blair Underwood got me, y'all. Blair,
Really? Why?
because you wanna know why? I seen how mad he made every woman in my family when they seen that movie.
that pretty boy hitting on that woman.
Set It Off is over. That pretty boy look for Set It Off is over.
Yeah,
He is
hmm
Joseph Jackson now.
yeah,
Like women are still mad but he showed range. Like when you see an artist that can show range, like Brown, of course, Brown, we look forward to Brown because we know he ain't gonna never let us down. I do agree with y'all with that one. But for me, Blair Underwood brought something where he showed that it was just the range, man. I love seeing range and especially in black actors and actresses. That range, that he saved that entire movie. He made it until the grits and all that stuff. But the way he played it and the way he did it, with the mother, what's her name, Lynn Whitfield or something like that. I think
yeah.
Yeah, Lynn Whitfield.
those two right there got some amazing range, and he played off of that, and he was just diabolical. I was like, man, if you're gonna be abusive, you got to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
Like,
that's
you got to
crazy.
be abusive. You see, like it's like wow. But
So
I don't
I
I
thought
don't
one
take
of
away
you
from
guys
Orphan
would have
though.
said Idris Elba.
What? No, got it.
I thought one of you would have said it, to be
No,
totally honest.
I forget that that's one of his movies. That's
no.
an off of the topic type of movie, almost compared to all his other movies.
I can't do it. Nope. I love Idris Elba. No. Blair
You
Underwood.
didn't like
No.
you didn't like Daddy's Little Girl?
I love the movie, but it didn't stick
It didn't.
like
It
some
was
of these
BT.
other characters.
It
Like
was
I
BT.
love the movie, like it warmed my heart and everything like that, but it didn't stick. Like me, like two of us said Mr. Brown because like Mr. Brown sticks, and it's not just because of how many movies he's in. Like he's kind of like a staple in Tyler Perry's world. Besides
Okay.
Medea, let's just forget Medea for a little bit because you know that's Tyler Perry. Mr. Brown's a staple in it. Like when he comes in a room, he's about to say something outrageous, just like you said. His look is funny. He got this like Mr. Potato looking figure. Like, oh my gosh, like it'd be having me crying. And it's like he one of them characters like even like the younger kids in the family can see him and still laugh and be engaged and stuff like that. Like he attracts like multiple ages of the audience.
What was the movie? Which one was it when was Cicely Tyson and
Family Reunion.
that
You
was
probably
Family
talking about
Reunion,
Family
right?
Yeah.
That was, I guess, one to me an iconic thing that he did, having Cicely Tyson and what is her name? The poet,
Maya Angelou.
Maya Angelou.
Yes.
Having them together, that was to me like
Amazing.
that was something that
Amazing.
resonated. So I mean, but all other movies, I'm not looking for something out of it. If that's you know,
Well, he always has a message. I will say that, which is why that was my question. The second question was, what was your takeaway? because regardless of what he does, there is a message behind it. Even Fall from Grace, I felt like elderly abuse was the message, and to be aware of that.
I don't remember that.
Nah,
Oh, you didn't see that one?
Fall from Grace
I don't
taught
know.
me. Hey, Fall from Grace told me get you an older woman because she gonna let you lay in the bed, smoke a cigarette. She gonna get you some food.
I gotta see now. I gotta watch. I
Fall from Grace
don't
was
know.
hilarious.
What did he say? Ashtray, bitch. Like, ain't that what he
Yeah,
said?
Oh, that movie.
yeah.
Oh,
Boy was going off.
Terry, isn't your girl older than you?
Me? No.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was about to
Jesus.
say it makes sense.
Hey, you
Okay.
thought my fiance was Whitney Houston and I'm Bobby? No, no. We the same age. We the same age. No, but my takeaway from this movie, though, I will say this: he played that part so well that I honestly
Corey
feel like
Hawkins.
I feel like Tia from Tia and Tamara. I feel like she divorced him on purpose. I was like,
I was like, man, was he doing this in the marriage?
yo, I
Oh
said straight
man.
up. My takeaway was, yeah, he do this for real.
Not you two. Not you two going with this.
No.
Nah,
It just
Mm-mm.
you can't get something from nothing a lot of the time. That's just something I always live by. You can't get something from nothing. Like some of that probably was him. I'm not saying that it is. I'm not spreading the rumors. I don't know nothing. I'm just saying
Yeah. So
that
they do say that.
I
They
see
do
why
say that
Tia
with
wants to enjoy her
actors.
summer. I'm sorry, y'all.
They do say like with actors, as far as like how they dive into the character, they do have to go within themselves. Maybe it's like one of their own experience to get something out because it's hard to act like something that you ain't never done before. And I personally have taken acting classes, even though I'm like behind the camera in my field, and they actually literally put you through certain things like that. Where it's like, okay, this scene might not have nothing to do with you per se, but go deep inside to bring out something that does. So it might not have been like him actually like divorcing people, but like him manipulating someone in a certain type of way. I agree with y'all. He definitely like brought that from the inside. Because sometimes you could tell when somebody's just kind of like reading script off a page and trying to be dramatic and stuff like that. And then of course that's when you get like a bad rating. But when you engage in it and you actually feel like, yo, this person is terrible, it might be from someone in their past. You never know. I'm
he
trying to
was a, he
go
was a
So
cold
trying to
dude.
throw
He was a cold dude in the Shy too. If you ever watched the Shy, he was a cold dude in that joint too.
Tia could have been the manipulator, and
He
he
could have.
took it from his wife instead of from his
He
own self.
absolutely could have. Absolutely could have. I'm
I
just
don't
saying,
know,
but
but
still,
he
you
looked like
can't
he
get
really
something from
dragged
nothing.
bodies out of caskets in real life. I don't know. I don't know, y'all.
On that note, thank you guys so much, and till next time, everybody. TTFN. That's all for now.
All right. Later.
Later.